And you might be asking, Marissa, if you don't really like apps, if you don't use them, why in the world are you dedicating an entire 25-minute show to it? Well, that's a great question. And I think it's because I want to show people that if I can use an app, you can use an app. Hey there, and welcome to the Digital Nomad Family Podcast. This is the place where families who have or want to have a nomadic lifestyle come together to talk about the highs and lows that this life brings. We celebrate the joys and support each other in the hard. So, if you are a digital nomad family or will be in the future, this is the place for you. We're glad you're here. Hey guys, Marissa here. Thank you so much for listening to another episode of Digital Nomad Family Podcast. If you haven't really listened to this show before, then that's totally fine. I'm glad that you're here. And I feel like before we jump into today's content, I need to give a really, really big preface. I am not a tech or app or computer person, even kind of. So if you have been listening for a while, then you'll have caught on that my personality is a little more go with the flow. I do like to plan things, but I would not consider myself scientifically minded or really very skilled at using new technology or anything like that. So I'm really glad that you are listening to this. And if it is your first episode to listen to, really glad to have you. Thank you so much for spending a few minutes with me. But today we are in part 2 of a 6-part kind of quick happening series called My 5 Favorite Things. And today is my 5 favorite things app edition. And you might be asking, Marissa, if you don't really like apps, if you don't use them, why in the world are you dedicating an entire 25-minute show to it? Well, that's a great question. And I think it's because I want to show people that if I can use an app, you can use an app. And I don't say that lightly because I am just so totally lost when it comes to anything that my phone can do, that my computer can do. Quick kind of story. Last, I think it was November, maybe, I got a message. Or no, it wasn't November. It had been before November, maybe September. I got a message, an email, and it said, you have to upgrade your phone because your phone will not work at the end of December, starting in 2022, which is like the year that was coming. Your phone will not work. I had a very popular brand of phone, and apparently they're just phasing out that, I don't know, technology, but I didn't understand it. And so that is how much I don't like new things. I was forced to get a new phone because mine wouldn't work anymore in a few months. And so, yeah, so that is me. And I really do want to encourage people to use the apps that we're going to talk about here because I do think that they make my family's life better and easier and more organized. And so I wanted to share them with you. If you don't know who I am, that's totally fine. I am a mom and a wife and a traveler, and not always in that order. And sometimes I feel like I am a really great traveler and maybe not a great wife, and some days I'm a great mom and some days I'm an okay mom, and that's what this space is for. It's for normal people to just come and say, hey, we're living life as a family, and We just happen to be moving around. We happen to be a nomadic family, but we are still a family first and foremost. And so we're going to just spend some time over the next few episodes focusing on these areas of life that even if you weren't nomadic, you would have to deal with them, right? Like even if you weren't a nomadic person, you would still have to figure out how to handle technology, what apps are good for you. This is nothing specific for a nomad. This is just as a nomad, how can we manage these things? So then we can focus on kind of the elements of life that do take a little more effort, like marriage and parenting and that kind of stuff. And then all this other stuff can not feel as, as big or as overwhelming or as, whatever negative word you want to use, I guess there. So, my family and I are currently in Peru, and we are really enjoying our time here. We have been here now for a little over almost 4 months. Yeah, we're coming up on the 4-month zone. So that's fun. And this has been our longest stay in a place. So the cool thing about traveling is you're always learning, right? I mean, I think you should be. We are, at least. Maybe I shouldn't admit that. Maybe that just means that I'm not really, arriving at this place, but I feel like I'm just always learning. And something that this trip has really taught us is maybe for us, 5 months at a place is too long. We're all kind of starting to get some itchy feet and ready to pack the bags and move on. But you know what? We're going to finish well and finish strong here in Peru. And we're excited about that. But we also we're learning. And that's okay. It is okay to say, yeah, we were at a place for 2 months and that felt too rushed. We were at a place for 5 months that felt too long. Like, learn from that. And that's what we're doing now. So I just wanted to kind of say all that to let you know that as even even with this podcast and the stuff I talk about, I'm still learning. I'm still growing. And that's, I think, why I love the idea of this community, because we can help each other out. So if you have anything that you would like to share with me, I would love to hear your thoughts on really anything nomad related, family nomad related. It would be an honor to talk to you about that. And there's 2 really good ways to connect with me. Either over on Instagram, we have a family page where we kind of just document the ins and outs of our lives and how we jump in stories and have fun. And we don't really take life too seriously. And that kind of shows on our Instagram. And we just hang out over there. So pop over there. And if you want to talk to me, just send a message and I will be the one to get that message on Instagram. Also, if you go to the website for the show, you can email me. And I just love to connect with other like-minded people. So with all that being said, let's jump into today's 5 favorite things app edition. Now, like I said, these are all very easy to use apps. And if I can do it, you can do it too. Okay, number 1 is an app called HOOPLA. And this app is wonderful, especially if you have, I shouldn't say especially if you have kids. It's an app that is connected to the public libraries in the United States of America. So a couple things about this app. 1, you have to have a library card. So I made sure that we use this app even before traveling. But then when we knew we were going to become full-time travelers, I made sure that each of my kids had a library card at the local library where we lived in America. And it's free to get a library card in America. And so we just did that. And then if your library is on the HOOPLA app, you just log in, super simple, and you can check out. And I love the way this works because they automatically return, because they're all either ebooks or audiobooks if you're looking at books. They also have movies, TV shows, music, which is really nice that you can check out as well. The great thing about this app is since it's totally free, we use it to kind of beef up our schooling. And so just like going to the library at home, it's free and you can just go and you can supplement some of the stuff you're doing. We use it for that. We also use it for read alouds. If there's a book that I want to read to the kids, like when we were in the Amazon rainforest, I downloaded Lord of the Rings and we started reading Lord of the Rings together. And it's really great for stuff like that because it's free. And since everything is digital, it automatically returns. And so you don't have to worry about late fees or anything like that. It's wonderful. The downside, I would say, to this app is you are limited, I think, to 6 checkouts each month. And it's not like 6 at a time, it's 6 total. And so if you, at the beginning of the month, you check out 6 things and you read them all, or you study that topic and then you're like, oh, I want to move on to another topic, you're out of luck until the next month rolls around. That's kind of a bummer about this app. And I don't understand why, because it's all digital and it automatically returns. So I don't really have an answer as to why they do it that way. I don't know, maybe just to keep you coming back. But it's wonderful. And each of my kids has a HOOPLA account and we use it for school. And they use it for personal reading as well. And there's lots and lots of book options on there. So that is the first app that we use. And I would highly recommend that if you are an American citizen and if you are able to get a library card, then definitely do that and check out HOOPLA. It's wonderful. The second app you might scratch your head at, but I have 2 very good reasons as to why, and it is the Disney Plus app. And I know you're probably thinking, Marissa, I do not understand why in the world is this an app that is on your list of must-haves. And I think the 2 reasons are good. 1, National Geographic. And we love National Geographic because there are so many educational shows on there and historical things that it's great. There's a series on Nat Geo called Europe from Above. When we were over in Europe, we watched that series. Now, we weren't sadly able to go to any of the places that they talk about in the series, but you totally could have. We could have. We just didn't have the time to. And when we were in Paris, we watched, it was a documentary called Notre Dame Race Against the Inferno. And it was all about the fire that happened at Notre Dame. And it was really cool to watch that documentary with the kids and then walk over and see the actual place where it happened. And the kids just really connected with that. And my kids, at least, they really connect with something when they watch and they're able to see things about it first. And so I love to do that. Also, you can do it with fun things. When we were in the Amazon rainforest, we took one iPad because we downloaded some movies on it. The place we went had 0 cell service and 0 Wi-Fi. Now, there are resorts in the rainforest that do. We just didn't want that. We wanted more of an adventure feel. But we did take one iPad and download some movies on it, and we downloaded Jungle Cruise. And so actually one night we had a family movie night while we were in the rainforest and we watched Jungle Cruise. And that was a blast. And that's something that the kids are going to remember, and they still talk about it, even though, it just happened a few weeks ago, but still, it was fun. And we plan to do the same thing when we're in Cusco. We already are planning to watch The Emperor's New Groove. And so just silly stuff like that. It can really be a way to have the kids connect with where they are and feel excited about it, especially if it's a location that maybe they're not vibing with that good. Try to find something on Nat Geo to show them, hey, this is a really cool place, or maybe just Disney has a movie with characters that are connected with that place. And the second reason is travel days. And Disney Plus is wonderful because you basically have unlimited downloads. And so each of our kids has Disney Plus on their iPads, and they get to pick what they want to watch on a long travel day. And if you are looking at a 13-hour travel day, which a 13-hour travel day is, I mean, that's nothing. Like if I say we all, because I feel like I'm talking to other travelers here, we all know that that is very, very much a normal thing to have a 13-hour travel day, especially if you're flying somewhere. You have to get there early. And then what do you do with all this time? Well, sure, you could do some school. Yeah, you can play some games. But for our family, we do let our kids have a decent amount of screen time on travel days. And it is really, really nice to not have to deal with 4 kids arguing about what they want to watch, because they can just pick. We tell them, hey guys, we're leaving in a couple days. Make sure you pick what you want on your iPad, and they get to go in, they get to download it, and it's great. And because of the fact that Disney has like all the Disney movies, the Pixar movies, they have Star Wars, they have superheroes, they have National Geographic, they just have so much that all of my kids and me and Eric, we can all find things to download, and it's all included in the price already. So I really, really, really like the Disney Plus app. So app number 3, it's called GoodNotes. This app took me a while. Now, again, I am a little hesitant with new things, but once I got my brain wrapped around, I act like it's hard. It's not hard. And it's probably funny, if you use GoodNotes, you're going to go, why was she intimidated by this? It's not intimidating at all. I just have everything built up in my head that I'm not going to be able to understand it. And what GoodNotes is it's an app that gives you multiple notebooks, and you can do different things with those notebooks. We pay for this app, and so our kids have unlimited amount of notebooks. I think if you get the free version, you can only have 3. So let's just talk about the free version for a second. You download the app, and you open it up, and it's going to be like a main screen with 3 different, the picture looks like a notebook, like just a normal notebook. And then you click on it. Then within that notebook is where you take notes. So each of those 3 notebooks can be 3 different, completely brand new subjects. So you could have one notebook about a trip you're planning. Another notebook could be a journal, and another notebook could be, I don't know, recipes or your cookbook. I don't know, a project you're working on. And so for us, since we pay for this app, we have unlimited notebooks. So we use this for school, because even in a digital, like completely digital, like school, like our kids are doing, everything can still get very disorganized, and it can feel very messy and chaotic. Because if you have, imagine you have your iPad, there's multiple places that you can write a report or take notes about something. And then you're asking, well, where did I save that? How did I take notes for that? It can be very confusing for my kids. And so how we do it is everyone just goes into GoodNotes, and then they create a notebook for each subject. So science, math, whatever subject you are doing. And then if you're doing a new project, you'll make a new project for that. So right now our kids are working on reports for Cusco and the ancient Inca Empire. And so they have, in their GoodNotes, they have like an Inca notebook. And then that's where they can keep all their notes for their reports, and everything is nice and organized, and they don't have to wonder, where did I put those notes? It's also really nice because as nomadic people, we don't want to have a lot of actual paper notebooks, but that doesn't mean that our kids don't want to do things that paper notebooks bring, like having a journal or a diary. And so with this, they can still have that. So they just go in and they create their journal, and then they can still write in their journal or their diary or anything like that. And it's a really fantastic app. It helps not just with school, but also just in life stuff. So I will use it as a way when I'm planning a trip. I'll say, okay, well, we're going to go to Cusco. So I'll make a notebook and I'll like label it Cusco. Or as we're getting ready to head toward our next location is Mexico, then I'll have a notebook with Mexico and I'll just start dumping everything in there. And then from that, I can get a little more organized. But it's just a really convenient app that helps keep all of that digital stuff that can feel really messy. It organizes it really, really well. So if you are trying to find a way to maybe organize your notes better or something like that, I would definitely check out GoodNotes. It's really helped us. App number 4 is called Marco Polo. And I love this app, and I don't use the word love lightly here. We use Marco Polo daily. It is a video app, and how it works is it's very similar to text messaging. And so you just hold it up, you take the video, and then as long as you're on Wi-Fi or pretty good cell service, it'll send it to whoever you're sending it to instantly. Then whenever that person is ready, they can watch the video. And so they're evergreen. They'll just be there. And you can pick who's in the group. So for me, we have a group with Eric's mom and dad and his sister, and we are always using it to talk to them, and the kids talk to Nana and Papa. And I then have I have a large group of cousins, and we have a group, and it's a way for my family, like my extended family, to stay really connected. And when I say we use Marco Polo all the time, I can't stress enough how much we use it. And I think the main reason that we love it is because our families love it. And my father-in-law, when we were getting ready to like transition completely to full-time nomads, we had recently done what we called a test trip. And I have an episode about a test trip and why you should take one. And test trips are awesome. I'll leave a link in the show notes to that podcast. And the test trip was really successful. And I remember talking to him when we were getting ready to come here and we were transitioning to just this lifestyle full time. And I said, I just want to make sure that we do a good job of staying connected to you guys and that you don't feel left behind in any negative way. And so what can we do? And he said, because of Marco Polo, I don't feel disconnected to you guys at all. And hearing my father-in-law say that meant a lot to me, because anytime we're at a place where we're thinking something like, oh, I wish Nana and Papa could see this, or I wish my mom could see this, or I wish my cousins, whatever, whoever, my friend, you just pull out your phone, open the app and start taking the video, and then they get to see it. And it's just so wonderful. And it really does make you feel connected to the people that you're not in the same country with. And another really like side benefit for us as the traveler is, have you ever gotten home and like you're going through the pictures and you feel like you have so many stories to tell? And yes, it's fun, but it's also kind of tiring. This eliminates that. Like when we get home and we hang out with our families, there's really no like, oh, this one time, and then we're telling them something new, because they've kind of seen it all already, which is really nice because it just, for our family, it really helps the people that are still in America feel like they're safe, everything's good, we know what they're doing with their lives, and it just gives them that sense of ease. And so we love Marco Polo, we use it daily, and it had to be included in my top 5. Okay, number 5 is kind of a lame one, I know, but hear me out on it, okay? And it's WhatsApp. Now, I know you're probably thinking, Marissa, everyone knows what WhatsApp is, but you know what? Maybe you don't, because I didn't know what it was until I really started traveling. Because in America, WhatsApp isn't as popular as it is in the rest of the world. And that's totally fine. Things are allowed to be, at different popularity levels. WhatsApp it does have a social media component to it. So you can post updates and that kind of stuff. I don't touch that side of it at all. I don't do anything social on WhatsApp, but WhatsApp allows you to video and even just audio call other people with the app that you're connected to. So my mom does not have the same type of phone as me. And so my in-laws, they have the same type of phone as me. So I can turn my phone, open my phone up, and I can push this wonderful green button with like a video camera looking thing. And I can instantly be connected with them on a video call, and it's on Wi-Fi. So it costs me nothing. They're on Wi-Fi. It costs them nothing. Totally free. My mom doesn't have that. And so video calling and even audio calling can be either expensive or just a little harder. But with WhatsApp, it's totally free, and it's just as easy as it is with that other green button. All you have to do is open up the WhatsApp app, and then you go to the phone and you say who you want to call. And then it rings through. As long as you have enabled push notifications, your phone rings just like a normal video call. And it's wonderful. And I didn't realize how great WhatsApp was until I started traveling, because I just thought it was this odd social media for some other countries. And that's not, does it have a social media side to it? Yes. But if you have people in your life that have a different type of phone than you, that you still want to be able to video call or even audio call while you're traveling, I would get WhatsApp for you and for them and set it up before you leave. And that way you're just going to be able to open up the app, call them. There you go. It's so nice to be able to do that with my mom. So yeah. So that is it. That is my top 5 apps. And I hope that at least one of them gave you some ideas or inspired you to not be intimidated by the phones and everything. So I would love to hear if you have an app that you use constantly, especially connected to travel or just anything that helps you stay connected to family, helps you manage your life better. I'm all about learning new things. So if you have a really great app idea, please jump over to Instagram, Family of Dashes, and send me a message. Let me know about it. Or you can go to the podcast website and shoot me an email. I would love to hear from you guys about some of your favorite apps. Before we go, I would love to ask a favor of you. If you have been listening to this show for a while, I would really appreciate it if you went over to iTunes and either left a rating or a review. Those really help iTunes see that, hey, people enjoy this show and we should show it to other people. And I really would just love to even see the audience grow so that we can help more people and more families as they are making the transition to a nomadic lifestyle. So if you have been listening for a while, I would truly appreciate it. Pop over there, leave a rating or a review, and just let people know what you think. And even if there's something that you think can be improved, let me know. I would love to hear that. So thank you guys. I'm excited about the next few parts of this series. I hope that you are enjoying it. And I can't wait to just learn from each other and just keep growing. And as always, I hope you continue to travel joyfully.